everyone. Last week we began the unit looking at language, power, and personal identity and the way in which those three things are inescapably intertwined. You had some marvelous discussions on the discussion forums that play right into the focus for this week, which is thinking about what happens when language and power are misused, or the critical question that besets us on almost a daily basis, and that is, whom do we trust? Once we gain literacy and we are trying to think critically about resources around us, what do when we are bombarded daily with so much information and, quite frankly, so much distorted and falsified information? So that's our focus this week, to try to figure out what do we do to keep our sense of personal power. We don't want to give that up. We've come too far and fought too hard to be where we are. If we don't know whom to trust and what to trust, the very ground that we're standing on begins to crumble. This fake news, misuse of language, the distortion, manipulation. So often we are feeling so disempowered that actually a couple articles this week that, if we have time, I want to share with you, that shows the national statistics of how people are self-reporting that it's just too much for their brains to sort through, so they choose not to, and that maybe that might be part of the intent of the media creators. But it's not all hopeless. If we ask ourselves the question, can we regain some of our personal power? Yeah, well, it's not going to be easy. You've probably heard the expression, power concedes nothing without a fight. So we have to have the courage to fight, and really, in a lot of our communities, maybe the willingness to stand alone for a short period, or maybe even a long period of time, as we're fighting our own fight, drawing our own conclusions, analyzing our own sets of media, even in the face of folks who disagree with our insistence that we're not going to be manipulated by someone else's misuse of language. There are, however, tools and strategies that we can use, and that's going to be our focus this week as well. The International Federation of Library Associations and Institutions has created a little infographic that is a useful place to start. Of course, it doesn't do all that we want it to do, but it's helpful. And so I've reproduced that there on the screen for you. That will also be available within the course this week, and we'll try to use some of those strategies as we're looking at some sample media. And then, why does this matter? I'm going to try to convince you that your very life depends on it, or at least your very identity. And if that, there's your life, right? That if language, power, and identity are intertwined, if we give up one, we give up others. And so, let's not do it, right? Let's not do it. So this week, here are our goals. We want to emerge from the week being able to explain characteristics of fake news. We want to try to develop some strategies for analyzing media. And then we'll practice those strategies with sample media selections in the course. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoy the week. Stay tuned for more resources.